I guess it's easier to do when it's a friend of yours, any sex scene. But any sex scene is always awkward because you have 100 people staring and, you know, maneuvering you and repositioning you and covering your bits and pieces. So really, it's just all awkward and uncomfortable. But yeah, it makes it a lot easier when it's somebody you actually know. I trained as a 9-year-old tutu-wearing ballerina, but not much further than that. I think I took hip-hop classes, jazz, when I was like little in school and stuff, but past that, no.
It was really, really hard, because first of all, I thought I was much more advanced than I actually was. And also I had a 15-year gap, so it was virtually starting from scratch. And it was, I had an amazing teacher, Mary Helen Bowers, who started with me a year ahead of time. And we did like ballet, and we had cross training, so we were swimming a mile a day, we were toning, and then, you know, a few months before the film, we started the choreography too. So by the end, we were doing like 8 hours a day. And it was really intense, but it was really helpful for the character too to understand that real rigor and discipline and physical pain that you go through as a dancer.
To be honest, it wasn't daunting when I signed on because I was so naive that I was like, I can do this. Till the first day that I stepped into the studio and I went, oh my God. What am I doing and how do I do this? And then I went home crying. And I was like, how am I gonna do this? No, but but really, I called Darren and I was like, Darren, I don't know how to do any of this. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fail you. And he's like, I swear you'll be okay. And I was like, I don't think I am. Like, that was the one thing that truly drove me crazy, was me trying to be a ballerina.
I will always dance for the rest of my life, just like for fun.
Right.
But ballet
It's
I will
over.
leave to the professionals, and I love watching it. I still go all the time. I feel like I probably have a better understanding personally of the best you can possibly be, as opposed to, because I understand that perfection is sort of unattainable. And also the pursuit is different for actors because we're portraying people who are by nature imperfect.
Right.
So our job is to portray imperfection, and the messier it is, the better, you know? Whereas dance, there is sort of an objective standard for like, how pointed is your foot? How turned out are you? What angle is your leg raised at? How, you know, how long is your arm? All of that is much more sort of technical standards.
What was it like putting on those shoes for the first time and trying to get
The
up on
point
them?
shoes?
Yeah.
Well, I put them on twice for the first time. The first time I put them on, I had them on for a minute and I went, no. Like, it's impossible. And my ballet instructor, Alexander Blacker, was like, I don't. So she was like, well, give it a couple more. And I was like, all right. So then 2 more months goes by, and she goes, I think you can put them on. And I went, no. Needless to say, she made me put them on. I didn't really have a choice. And it was hard. It was excruciating. It was really painful. You put them on and, like, you know, you put them on and then you get on point for like 2-3 minutes, and then you drop back, and then you get back on, and for 8 hours, you're on point.
And then there was a shoulder injury in there too?
Well, in the beginning of my training, I tore my calf ligament, which did not deter Alexander from training me. I was like, ooh, I tore my calf ligament, I can't come. And she was like, yeah, you can, we'll work on your upper body. And I was like, oh my Lord. So like, as I'm like limping along, I was working my upper body. And then 4 months later, I was doing swan arms. And I think at that point, my body was just incredibly fatigued, and my muscles were just, I mean, it was coming to an end. And I dislocated my shoulder. I just hyperextended my shoulder. And then the next day you go back to work, you have no choice.
Now the sex scene with Mila, I mean, you guys are friends.
Yeah.
Does that make it more comfortable or more awkward?
I think more awkward.
Yeah?
Because there's no like, okay, I'll never have to see this person again. Like, I can do anything humiliating. But it was also, you know, at least there was someone who I could like laugh with and, you know, at least share this weird experience with. But it was awkward.
I guess it's easier to do when it's a friend of yours, any sex scene. But any sex scene is always awkward because you have 100 people staring and, you know, maneuvering you and repositioning you and covering your bits and pieces. So really, it's just all awkward and uncomfortable. But yeah, it makes it a lot easier when it's somebody you actually know.
What's more uncomfortable, putting on the point shoes and getting up, or doing a sex scene in a movie?
Point shoes.
Point shoes are more uncomfortable?
You have no idea. Have you ever put on point shoes?
I did. But I retired as like a 13-year-old ballerina too. That was enough for me.
Okay, so how long did you do ballet before you put on point shoes?
A couple years.
All right, I did it for 2 months.
Okay. You win.
It was rough. It was, you know what? It was rough. Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah.
But it looked great.
Thank you.
Convincing.
They're both pretty awkward, pretty uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, the shoes, it's a different kind of discomfort.
Exactly.
I mean, it's hard to compare emotional and physical pain.